Hello. I think I'm live. It looks like I'm live. I'll wait to see if there's anybody here to join me on this Wednesday evening. I've got two eyes there, so at least I know I'm transmitting something. Good evening. It's Sarah here, and I'm feeling a wee bit out of breath because I've been packing orders all day, and literally, thank you, Mr. G. That must be Mr. G who's commented that it sounds good. Hi, Adele, lovely evening. Yeah, I've been packing orders all day, so I'm kind of thinking, oh my goodness, what will I do in the live this evening? But I did want to have a bit of another play with the After Midnight collection, or bits of the After Midnight collection, which launched on Monday on Create and Craft. So hopefully lots of you got to see those shows that I had with Dan. They were great, weren't they? I was only due to have the 5 o'clock, but then I was given the opportunity to do the 7 as well. And I'm so glad I did, because I needed both hours to demonstrate a lot of what was in the kit, and I could have carried on if they'd given me more airtime as well. So yeah, it was a lovely show, a lovely couple of shows with Dan, and yeah, I want to have a bit more of a play, partly finish off a demo that I started on the Monday, because I'll talk you through what I'd done already, but it was due to be a picture frame, so I just wanted to finish that off while I'm kind of here chatting to you this evening, and then we'll go on and do another quick project from start to finish. And I will have to be quite quick tonight, because I have to walk the dog. Mr. G's not feeling very well, so he set me off, and he's gone to go and recline in a darkened room. So I'll need to go and make sure the dog's looked after as well this evening. Let me say hi to some of you, though, that I can see names popping up on the screen here. So Karen, good evening. Hi, Maxine, lovely. Melanie, good to see you. Hi, Nunu. Jan, Nunu, I hope you're not neglecting your work. You need to be getting on. And Adele, hiya, Sue as well. Oh, it's so nice for you all to be joining me this evening. Adele, you asking a question? Are you asking about this silver sparkly stuff that I used for the Moonlit Forest stencil? This is actually, I don't have it next to me, I don't think. I literally had to run out to the car and get my demo stuff out the boot. I'd not even taken that out of the boot since Monday. Shameful. But it is Galaxy Glow by Wow. And I don't know if you can see, if I bring it up to the camera a little bit, that obviously it's kind of quite a nice texture. I'd used clear texture paste on this stencil, so it has got a bit more dimension than I would have had just with embossing ink. But this is how it all just came out of the pot. So you can see some kind of slightly different speckles, some slightly different textures in there, and that those parts of it will glow in the dark when the lights are out. So it looks really effective. You know, my idea with this is to make a picture, have it in a frame, and I just think at night, say maybe in a kid's bedroom or whatever, to have that kind of that glow once the lights have gone down, then I think it'd be really kind of really pretty. So thank you, Jan, for liking and sharing, and thank you for reminding me to say yes, please do. If you're on YouTube, it'd be fantastic if you could like and share. Just helps get my channel out there and make people aware that we are live every Wednesday, and there's either me or one of the other members of the design team who come and do demos, have a chat, we have a bit of banter. So yeah, it's lovely to have as many of you join us as we can. And the other thing that I need to do, because I said in the video I recorded to showcase the products and the samples for After Midnight at the weekend, I said I would do 2 giveaways, didn't I, for comments that were left on that video. So thank you to so many of you for watching and giving me your feedback. I've got 2 names written down in my little book. And the two commenters that are going to win a giveaway from the collection are Steph Woodbury and Sue Daughtry. Now, I don't know, I don't think I've seen either Steph or Sue on tonight, but they might well be. If they are, congratulations to you both. If not, then obviously I'll be putting it onto the Facebook group so that they'll see that they're winners on there. And what I thought I'd do is invite each of them to choose which of the mini collections that make up After Midnight that they'd like to receive, plus the paper pad. So they might want the Midnight Feathers by Ankit, they might want the Midnight Minx from Olga, or the Feline Magic from Olga, and I will give them that plus the paper pad. So congratulations to both of you. Thank you for watching, and thank you to so many of you as well for watching and giving the feedback. I'm glad you liked the collection, and it's a cool one, isn't it? And it does feel, as I keep saying, it's not a collection as in it's Olga's collection or it's Belinda's collection, because there are different designers involved in it, but it does feel like it goes together really nicely. So shall we get what I've done? Let me just bring you up to speed in case you didn't see the demo, and this was kind of very much at the end of the second hour anyway. You probably had nodded off by then. So I've used a piece of the Fantastic Dreamscapes paper pad, and I think you've got the kind of message by now. It is lovely matte paper, beautiful for heat embossing on, takes your kind of mediums really well. It's 190 GSM, so again, I mean, I've used texture paste on here and then heat emboss, and it's still stayed nice and flat and taken that without any difficulty. So that was already kind of done. This was the Moonlit Forest stencil, and that stencil comes with the mask as well. So if you wanted to use the outside space around the image, you've got that option. And then what I did when I was live was there's a piece of vellum here, and I white heat embossed one of the beautiful cats from Olga's Feline Magic set, and I think that looks beautiful kind of against with that dark colour underneath it. It really kind of pops, doesn't it? Since then, I've simply done exactly the same thing with a sentiment from that same stamp set. So that's the kind of the inside the frame. Who's on the naughty step? Is that Donna on the naughty step? Donna's always on the naughty step. She's that's where she lives. Oh, hi, is that you, Fran? Lovely, thank you for joining us. And I'm going to email you afterwards as well, because thank you for your email as well. Thank you, Sue. It is, they are really kind of atmospheric, these cats, aren't they? I think I said on air that I'm not really a cat person, but the imagery in these stamp sets may have me converted. I know you like all your animals, don't you, Sue? So you'll kind of enjoy these as well. But yeah, you know what Olga and I are like. I mean, she likes purple and cats. I like green and dogs. I don't think there's many things we can actually agree on. Oh, well, thank you, Fran. It's lovely to have your company. And do you have this product in store yet, or is this the product that's on its way to you? It might be on its way to you, isn't it? So you'll have it in store over in the USA very shortly. So if any of you are USA viewers, then certainly look out for Frantic Stamper. They have all of our products, and Fran's a fantastic supporter of our brand. So what I had done, how are you? Oh, bless you. Oh, yeah, it's actually, you're right. That would be a lovely a lovely image, and to send to anybody who has lost a loved pet, because I do think it has that kind of otherworldly feel about it. So what I had done before the show, and then didn't really get to take it any further, is I had already painted a shadow picture frame. It's very, very I was going to say cheap, but you know what I mean. Easy to get, and a good low price. So I have simply used, I think I've used Paper Artsy acrylics on it there because they've got a nice chalky finish. They're fresco paints, and I have just made a bit of a great graduation of colour. So I've got the dark blues here, and then we go through to and I hope you're not going to ask me what colours I've used. I know this is Wolf's Eye. I should have them next to me. I know this is Wolf's Eye, and this might be Squid Ink. Anyway, if you really want to know, let me leave me a message, and I'll definitely put the details on after the live. But that's what I've done already. And then I thought, well, it'd be good to have a little bit more sparkle or interest on the frame. So that's why I haven't put my image into it. I thought we'd use the Starry Spiral, which was one of the stencils that were on the Pick and Mix, but it's not a new stencil. It's one of our older stencils anyway. So some of you may already have it. And I'm literally just going to do a bit of heat embossing on both corners of the frame, just to just draw the eye in and add a little bit more sparkle to it. I could use the Galaxy Glow if I'd remembered to take it out of my demo bag, but we'll just go with some silver, I think, this evening. And I love this stencil because I just think it has a nice movement to it. So it's great as a background for a focal point generally, but I think the scale of the stars will work nicely on this frame. So I use one of my blending brushes and the Wow ink. So how are you all anyway? You having a good week so far? It's nice, isn't it? Certainly in the UK, the weather has finally kind of calmed or cooled down a little bit. So I'm a lot happier now. Let me put these little feet in so that the frame's not going to slip around on my glass mat. I was just melting last week, and I had to keep turning the laser cutters off because they were overheating during the day. So I just wanted to get back to something that felt a bit more like September. So I'm literally going to hold this with my hands, using the blending brush with embossing ink. And you'll have heard me say plenty of times that embossing ink is the one ink that I tend not to use on my brushes and then go from that to a colour, because I'm not really wanting to contaminate my inks with the kind of the embossing ink, if that makes sense. So if you do use a brush with embossing ink, then try and keep that to one side. I've got a bit there, and I'm just wondering, I could just move this, and we can have a little bit more. And then after I've done this, I thought it'd be, if you will indulge me, I will do another month on the calendar for my mother, because it's it's got to be done before Christmas. I've got 2 of the A4 calendar pages done already, and we did one on a live, so I thought we'd do another. It's almost my alternative to art journaling at the moment. Your wax pickup tool melted. Do you know, I love using wax seal stamps, and I've been surprised that my beads haven't melted actually in this room, because my kind of office craft room is very, very sunny. It gets the sun all day, and I was waiting to see if they would actually melt, but they didn't. So I've just turned this around again. I'm wondering whether to put a little bit more up here. Yeah, I think I will. And I'm not rushing to cover it with powder, because embossing ink on acrylic paint will give you a decent amount of drying time, a decent open time. It's going to be one of those, isn't it, where before I know it, I'll end up covering the whole frame. So let's see what we've got here by adding some silver embossing powder. Oh, you set yourself quite a range of tasks. There's no need to go. Why are we closing the windows? Were you expecting a kind of burglary or midlife? It is, although I'm quite liking the rain as well. I don't know, I'm just in the mood for autumn, I think. Yes. Yeah, Laura did do a video recently. Her YouTube channel, I can't remember what it's called, her YouTube channel, but I highly recommend it because she does some fab demos. And I saw she'd done something with wax seals recently. I'll ask you while we're live. I am thinking of getting some Funky Fossil ones. So if it is the kind of thing that you think you might like or be interested in, do let me know, because I've become slightly obsessed with them. I think that's going to look nice. Can you see that? Meerkat Makes, thank you. Yeah. Laura does fab demos on there, and she uses a lot of Funky Fossil products because we're very lucky to have her on our design team, but she does also demo lots of products and techniques from other brands as well. So I often check in, see what she's doing. She's been doing some great stuff with acetate and gilding flakes and all sorts of fun things. So hi, Claudine. Right, let's just give this a bit of a heat. I'm just seeing a few wisps of the powder. Not much, actually. Did I use my anti-static? I don't think I did. I was too busy chatting away, wasn't I? Did you see, oh, honestly, did you see my second hour? I was literally 30 seconds before we were due to go live, I was covered in glue, because this Jodie from Tonic had lent me her glue, and she did say, she said bless her, it's been in the car, I think it's blocked. And you know when you try and do something really quickly, and I was trying to unblock it, and then I must have just pressed too hard and it went everywhere. Oh my goodness. Dan thought it was hysterical. Right, I'm just going to turn on my heat gun. Thank you, Fran. I just like the idea quite often with picture frames of bringing the image beyond the inside of the frame, just continuing it on. I think it's what makes you, from using a standard kind of shop bought box frame, it just customizes it and makes it your own, doesn't it? And of course, get that lovely shine of the silver. Yes, I can't be the only one looking forward to the darker nights. There we go. I think that was going to give it. Oh, it was. I was literally covered in it. I had to run out of the studio. They were still, they were just starting the countdown to going live. So yeah, I think it's looking a bit. There we go. You see that? I never get my camera angle right for just picking up the silver, but it really does pop nicely. So we'll just pop this into the frame so we can see. I won't bother about the glass for now, but I'll obviously do that at another time. Where's my interior gone for the frame? It's got a it's got got something to give it. Yes, that's a good way of getting frames, Fran. And Belinda, she often picks up kind of frames from thrift stores, and she paints the outside of them as well, so she incorporates them into her pictures, which always look stunning because she gets quite ornate looking frames. Oh yeah. Yeah, it did, didn't he? It was the carved stencil he said was weird, but then I think he was meaning it in a good way. Right, this might not be an ideal activity to try and do in a live, and it's upside down. Look. We'll get past that. Let's just get past that. There we go. Oops, no, it's upside down. Oh, no, it is upside down. So I think that looks really cool, doesn't it? Just because you've got the overlay of the vellum, you've got the sparkle of the moon, and now we've got that sparkle coming on the outside. So it was just, I just wanted to finish that and show you it completed. Now, of course, this interior would make a lovely journal page, so it could be in your journal equally. But my idea when I was bringing the demo to air was to show that, again, just looking at your stamps and stencils as pieces of home decor, and it's totally simple. This was just a stencil, a stamp, and a bit of heat embossing. So I'll put a picture of that. It is simple, Sue, isn't it? And you say that sometimes that's because we've got these lovely rich papers. I think sometimes that's all we need. So yes, I will take a picture and put that on the group afterwards for everyone to see. But let's have a look at our A4 calendar and think about what we can. I've already got an idea of what I want to do in here. So this was the January. This is our summer twilight collection, and I think I'd already done this one. I'm skipping February because I haven't got anything in there, but we do have a collection coming that I'm thinking of using for February. This is the one that we did in the live, and you all kind of help me work out what to do. So it's using our rub-ons and the large Wildflower Fields stamp and some of the stenciling as well. So I'm really pleased with that. And the thing about this one, and this is kind of where I want to go with this calendar for my mum, is it's got this pocket. So she likes to keep receipts or notes of appointments, hairdressing appointments, etc. They're still really kind of quite paper heavy in the way that they kind of keep a note of what they're doing. So I thought actually it'd be a good idea to try and add pockets to all of the months in my mum's calendar and try and incorporate them in kind of fairly creative ways. So I'm going to use the After Midnight papers, and this will be for a month later in the year, I think, because I think this will work better for a kind of October, November. And let me see, what have I done with, I'm going walkabout. It's over here. So I've already, I won't probably put it in September. I've already cut down a piece of just gold. I think this is Creative Expressions gold foundations card. It's a lovely kind of antique gold. And then I've cut one of the Dreamscape papers, and I'm going to effectively use the same concept as we used in this card that I demoed on TV, which I didn't glue down at the time because I didn't have any glue. But if you did see, you'll be aware, what I'd done was layered up, because you get 3 sheets for each pattern in the paper pad. I had layered it up with foam pads in order to create a pocket. Now, my idea with the card would be that you'd put potentially a gift card in the pocket or a bookmark, because I think that goes nicely with the owl. But here I'm going to use that landscape to create a pocket for the calendar for my mum. So just basically a different orientation, but pretty much the same concept. So that's where I started from. And I have already done the cutting out, but I want to add this fabulous big owl from the Midnight Feathers stamp set to the scene, because I just think that's going to look stunning. And this is I'm going to have the one of the owl in flight. So what I'm going to do first is stamp him onto the paper, and then we will colour up and cut out one separately that we can layer over the top. But the reason for stamping it onto the paper initially is that so we don't lose these beautiful kind of draft lines that radiate out from the bird, because I think they kind of make it particularly special. So I'm thinking my pocket is here, so I'm not going to want the wing, the bottom wing, to go over that, because that will negate. Yeah, I don't want it to look like it's flying. I don't want it to be hidden in the pocket. Does that make sense? So if we put it like this, actually let me get my stamping platform. And I think I'm going to heat emboss him in white, because if I did him in gold, I don't think the lines are particularly going to have enough contrast against the papers. And that's, I mean, you know, I love making inky backgrounds, and I know so many of you do too. So I feel kind of this is a shortcut, but the scenes in this paper pad and the fact that the paper is so beautiful to work on does make it easy to do some slightly quicker projects. So he's going to go off the page, but I quite like that because he looks like he's swooping in. So we will magnetize this down, kind of. There we go. Am I still in shot? I'm working on the never decreasing space as usual. So let's pick this up on the platform. Let me move my cup of tea out of the way. It'll be glue one day and tea the next. So let's put a bit of embossing anti-static powder down. So this is going to be in white. Is that white? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love this jam because the artist who's put these papers together, it's like gold foil, and you can see in this hill as well water stain marks, like watercolor. So yeah, it has a lovely kind of sense of dimension. Oh, that is rude, Adele. I hope you told them that you were otherwise engaged. Just generously inking this up with the Wow powder, Wow ink. Versamark is equally as good for this. Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that now I've managed to find somewhere that does papers that are just so fantastic. I mean, I love the papers I've bought out previously are all brilliant, and I do love them. But the finish on these does mean that for a beginner crafter, perfect. But equally, for those of you that want to do more kind of complicated techniques, it's going to give you the scope to do that. Right, I think I'll push that in for long enough. We shall see. I mean, actually, the body of it isn't really going to make a huge amount of difference because I'm going to layer it up. But at least you'll be able to see it heat embossed against the paper. Yeah, Maxine, I love these owls, I must say. I'm really partial to Ankit's kind of style of artwork. There we go. So this is really, my main intention here is just to ensure that we've still got those lines radiating out from the owl. And we'll give that a blast. I really wasn't sure what to use today, because I think I'm definitely going to do another month in the calendar with the Midnight Minx. I think I will do an October page with Olga's Midnight Minx stamps, because they're just so cool. It is a collection where you can go in so many different directions. The papers, yeah, Adele, the papers are stunning. So I mean, certainly they flew out on Monday. I've got three full boxes behind me of pretty much paper pads that have been ordered. Just let the gun get to heat. You see, if I'd done it in gold, I think it would have started to get lost against the gold elements. Somebody's at our front door. There we go. So if I was leaving that as it was, I probably would add some kind of shading into the body of the bird, because he's flying across the setting sun, etc. So I think that's going to kind of conflict with the line art. So I'd want to make that a bit more solid and not quite so transparent. But as I say, we're going to layer over him, but we do have our lines coming out from the owl. So I think that's going to look nice. Well, just like I did with the cat, you can imagine him on vellum, can't you? Fabulous. Right, let's colour in the body of the owl using my cheeky stencil. She says, there's the stencil. And could do with a bit of cards, Sarah. Could do with a bit of cards. There we go. Here is some cards. So they say the stencil comes with the mask as well. I don't know, Fran, if this was in your order, because I only made it up the other day. So if it isn't, I'll definitely pop it in the post to you. This is the outline that has been designed to work exactly with the owl. So it kind of works in combination with the owl. May not make a lot of sense to people as an independent stencil, but my intention is to be able to colour in the body of the owl quickly with my inks. So let's think. I had got some colours out that I thought would work with this background, and I thought I'd go with 3 colours of blue. Peacock Feathers, Uncharted Mariner and Chipped Sapphire. So 3 shades of blue here. Let's get a little bit of the lightest on. I'm going to kind of graduate the colour across the body. And I'm trying to find or look at a brush in front of me that's vaguely in the Peacock Feathers ballpark. Tap a bit out onto the stencil. So you can see how much ink it's picked up there. So I do often tap off, and then I can always go back in to the ink on the stencil. And pull it down like that. Oops. So that's peacock feathers. Let's get some Uncharted Mariner. Oh, thanks, Adele. Misty's down at the studios, isn't she? I watched her 4 o'clock. Should be on shortly. Misty being Tony Darrick, for those of you who I'm sure who I'm referring to. Misty, Mr. G. It's a whole cast. They'll be only referred to by their initials. So this is Uncharted Mariner. So I'm going across the middle of the stencil here. And then the nice thing is, of course, that blend will just work seamlessly because these distress inks distress oxides do play very nicely together. And I'm not worried about going back over the peacock feathers. You can see backwards and forwards brings you that depth of colour and just prevents it looking too stripy. And the stripe is what you're going for. Oh, sorry, Del. I didn't realise I was on a clock. Oh, Steph, good to see you. I just said at the beginning of the live, you are one of the winners of the giveaway from After Midnight for commenting on the little preview video I did. So I'll put your details up in the Facebook group because I wasn't sure if you were going to be on tonight. But yeah, so you'll be able to choose whichever of the mini collections that you particularly like from After Midnight, and I will send you that and the Dreamscapes paper pads. So it's worth tuning in, wasn't it? There we go. I like that. I think that's going to give us a nice. Not nice. Indeed, I am Lady Grey, aren't I? I'm sure she met with some unpleasant end in the reign of Henry VIII. So yeah, just that airbrushed look just by itself. Really cool. And of course you can do that on any of your large aperture stencils. The Lunar Cat and the Moonlit Forest would be a great one. Great for doing that graduation of colour. Hi, Belinda. Good to see you. Thank you, Jane. So I am going to just give this a quick waft with a heat gun because we're going to now heat emboss over the top of it. And we all know what happens when I forget to dry the ink. Oh, you're welcome, Steph. You have to thank Mr. G. He randomly chose the numbers. The other winner was Sue Daughtry, but I don't think Sue's on, or she hasn't shouted up yet, so we'll let her know. That's plenty drying, isn't it? Dried it so well that I've made the paper buckle. So let's go back in and stamp the owl in another time, and I'm gonna white heat emboss it again because I think that will still gives me that nice contrast against that night sky, doesn't it? I think we'll white heat emboss it. Let's do that and see whether it stands out enough. Otherwise, I could gold heat emboss it. No, I think I'm going to stick with white because there's quite a lot of gold on that paper already. I said on air, didn't I? This is a total cheat, this stencil, because I only came up with it I didn't. The DT design team haven't had it because it was me just trying to think of how am I going to demo colouring the owl quickly. So I didn't give the design team that opportunity. So I'm just going to layer. You can see how I really want to put my head in front of the camera to line this up, but it's one of those, it actually can look really cool if it's slightly off, because it looks a bit like offset printing. But I'm going to cut this out so that effect won't really come through. I think I've got it. I think it's there. We shall see. Oh, hi Claudine. Oh yes, yeah, I have managed to, well, thanks to some lovely people, we're managing to get our products to South Africa now. So yeah, you'll be able to start building quite a collection. Right. What was I going to, white heat embossing? I thought you were talking to me then, pink haired lady. I was realizing it was Belinda. Exciting week ahead, haven't we, Belinda? If you're still there, very exciting week ahead. Actually, I need to ring you, Belinda. I'll ring you on Friday, I think, because we need to do a few bits and pieces. Right, there's plenty of. Did I anti-static this? Let's see what happens. It's Why Not Wednesday. We're making our way around the world, but I have to say, and I'm not just saying it because she's on the live, but Fran at Frantic Stamper was the first overseas retailer that really kind of took the chance on Funky Fossil, and Fran and I have worked together now for a number of years, and I'm hugely grateful to her for her support. But yeah, we're in Australia now, South Africa, Spain, Germany, all over the shop. Right. I tire myself out stamping that. It's a big old image. I think we've got it. You can see I'm off. Well, you'll see it when I do the heat embossing. I'm slightly off at the top. I like that. I like that look, because I think, you know, when you get printing and you can see the different layers. White. Oh no, it's very sincere, Fran. Let's see what we've picked up. Oh, thanks, Adele. Yeah, it's an exciting time, Jane. Now, of course, I'm doing this onto white cards, so the white heat embossing that is going around the owl, which we're going to cut away anyway, isn't really going to be visible, but that's not the point, is it? We're wanting the body this time to be able to lay over the one on the card base or the page base. But I can see already that's going to look nice. Yeah, I'm working on Canada, Sue. If you've got any suggestions, then do message me. I have been approached by a number of Canadian retailers, but it's never quite got there. It's true, yeah. Well, it's very true, Belinda. Thank you for suggesting that. That's actually completely right. Or I could have heat embossed it, and not even. Yeah, and I didn't even need to worry about the stamps, because I could have used maybe some magicals in it, etc. And then because I'm cutting out the image, it wouldn't matter the extent to which those magicals had extended beyond the bird. So there are loads of ways of colouring it, really. But yeah, you're right. I just find some inks, embossing resist some inks slightly better than others. So I quite like making sure that my embossing is going to be crisp on top for this effect. For background, not so much, but when I'm wanting it to be the focal point, I really do want the bird to pop. We got away with it anyway, I think. I like that. This is one of those times when I wish I had a die for this bird, because then I could just run it through the machine, but it won't take long to cut out. But look, how nice is that? So again, this could be just on your card, and just taking completely the point that Belinda made. I don't think I've melted all the embossing powder around the outside of the bird, but say you coloured it in, you could use your mask, and then you could go round the bird in, say, like a darker ink, and the white lines that you've already heat embossed would resist that darker ink, and so you could have it as a single layer on your card, but using the aperture and then the mask, you could get the difference in shading. Oh no, I haven't, Adele. Remind me, Adele, is it the 11th of November? It is. I'm fairly sure it's the 11th of November, Port Sunlight Stamping Together Festival. So those of you that can get over, it's out towards Liverpool, and it's fabulous. It's my, I think I could say my favourite in-person show of the year. It's in April, normally April and October, November. So we're coming up to the November one, 11th of November. Thank you, Adele. Adele, put the link in the chat for the page where people can go and get tickets if they're close enough. Adele organises the event. She's a very organised person. She tears her hair out with me. So I'm doing this quicker than I might otherwise do. And also, I would normally have it right under my nose to be able to see. I'm going to just take this little bit off the top of the owl rather than cut around it. It is a very easy shape to cut, to be fair. And because we're one of the nice things about doing this, where you're layering it over an image that you've already stamped out, is where there are fiddly bits, you don't always need to worry about those, because you know the layer below it. You know, we always say, don't we, antennae on butterflies or those kind of elements. Don't need to worry about cutting those out if you're going to have the image already visible underneath. You just want the body. I'm hoping they'll get to you soon, because lots of orders went out today and the rest of them are going out tomorrow, because I've got them boxed up behind me. So in time, fingers crossed, for playing at the weekend. Oh, Belinda, I should say to you, I'm going to take a picture of it, but I got your fabulous notebook. Stunning. Really gorgeous. So thank you so much for that. So there we go. Oh, nice. It's a big old image. You can see from my hand there, can't you? Oh, does it not work as a link? I thought you had a Facebook link or something for it. Oh yeah. Oh well, I got mine. I think I got mine yesterday as well, and I meant to message you to say I had. I love it. I hope you're pleased with them as well. Gorgeous. Oh yeah, that's going to work. I say it's going to work, but now I'm looking at it, I think it looks a bit bright. Do you know what I mean? Do you think we should add some greys to it? Yeah, I think I'm going to have some greys. Or have you got it as well? I can't see your name. It's Facebook user. Are you stroke? It's too nice to write in. That's the trouble. I am a stationery hoarder. Let me get some hickory smoke and just try and tone that. I think it's the peacock feathers, just a bit too turquoise for the night scene. So if we add a bit of hickory smoke, and of course, as Belinda's already said, the embossing powder will resist it, so I've not got to worry about losing any of the definition. Let me get one of the smaller brushes as well, just to see. Isn't it? It is good to, but that's, you know, so often even though you've done all that planning and you've really thought about it and you know what it's going to look like, still somehow the physical reality of a product doesn't look. Oh, hi Diane, is it you? Oh, have you got one as well? Yeah, sometimes the physical reality is just somehow different, often better, but still. It's still it's a strange thing, isn't it, from the concept to the physical. Yeah, I think this is the right call. Just adding a bit of grey. I don't even know if it'll come across on screen, but it's oh yeah, it's just toning down that peacock feathers. I could have probably done it all in Uncharted Mariner and Chipped Sapphire. But at least you've seen the blend, how it blended. Yeah, I think it's not a huge difference, but it just takes off the very turquoisey top. Let's see. It's still quite turquoise. Oh, hi, Alicia. What I probably will do, and I'll do it off air, but before I share the picture with you, is I'll probably go in and add some pencil shadings in greys again, just to tone that colour down a little bit, because he's a bit too. He looks a bit too much like a parrot with the turquoise. It's not the midnight owl I was thinking of. Oh yes, it will. Free Spirit. It's fabulous, fabulous stamp set. I've finished packing orders for the Create and Craft shows, and I've still got a few Free Spirits left, so I think I'm gonna put them on at the happy hour price for anybody who missed out on happy hours in the live shows. I haven't got many. I mean, I'm talking less than 10, but I'm still faffing around with this, aren't I? Remind me that I've got to walk the dog, everyone. Yeah, I am definitely going to tone that colouring down afterwards, but you get the idea, and I think the white heat embossing is the right call for that, isn't it? So we've got our pocket that's going to sit over the top. Yeah, that'd be nice. So what I'm going to do is just add a sentiment to the pocket, to the front, and trim it down, and then we'll say that's done, because Tony's got a new and exclusive on Create and Craft at 8. Let's put, I think there are 2 sentiments on this Midnight Feathers that I think will work for a calendar for my mum, and I think it's soar with your heart full of moonlight and your soul full of stars, which I think is lovely for the bird in flight. Or if you want to fly, let go of everything that weighs you down. Have we got a preference, anyone? Did you get it from me, Diane? Is it Diane that ordered it? If you've got it from me and at full price, let me know, because I'll make sure you get it at the happy hour price. Free Spirit, that is. Yeah, I think so, Iona. I think that one will work nicely. And I'm going to place it up here on the pocket, because then it's not going to be competing with that strand of gold. Oh, now I've got the dilemma. Should I go with white? I think we'll go with white. It's the theme of today. We'll move our bird out of the way. So this is the top, this is the separate layer, and it's slightly bigger than the base page, so I need to make sure I don't put my words off to one side and cut them off. They are nice sentiments, aren't they? Just a bit unusual. I like the other one. The wisdom you seek is already within you. I always think it's a bit makes me think of Yoda. So let's go here. Oh, bless you, Diane. Oh, Rosemary, is it? Fab. Rosemary, I'll sort you out then on the Free Spirit stamp set. Make sure you get that at the happy hour price. There's nothing worse than knowing you've ordered it and then hearing somebody say an hour or so later, reduce the price. Right, where did my paper go for catching this heat embossing? How can I lose things? I had there was at one point with the demos, and Dan was doing some update, etc., and I was having an absolute meltdown. I was looking everywhere for a stencil, and then just as he came back to me, I realised I'd already put it on the paper. So that's pretty much the story of my crafting. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Well, say it has sold out on. It has sold out on Create and Craft at the Happy Hour deal, but I was saying, now that I've done all the orders, I've got a few left, so I'm going to put them on the shop at the Happy Hour price. So if you missed out and you still want to check back later this evening, because I'll put them on the shop, and given you're watching the live, you'll probably see it before most others. She's a sewer. She's fabulous with kind of sewing. She's very practical. So she loves sewing and making, like she upholsters chairs and things, but she doesn't do the paper crafting. She demands her paper crafts from me. I wish I could sew, but I don't. I can't even thread a machine. It is on my list. I have got a machine. I just haven't got it out of the box. So there we go. That's going to look nice. Let's just trim that down and glue it around the edges. So we've just got it open across the top. And then I will let Adele get to watching the telly. She's probably gone already. So again, I'd do this a bit more neatly if I wasn't trying to do it quickly, because I'm sure it's moved. It's only me mum. It's my mum's fault we've got the A4 calendar, because she said, oh, I liked your A5 calendar, but it's far too small for me. I need an A4 one. So that's why we've got A4s this year. So I'm just literally applying the ink around the three sides at the edges, so that there'll be you could of course do a proper fold, kind of create a gusset for your pockets. I don't want to use foam tape, because obviously this is going in the calendar. I wanted to keep it fairly flat. But you could do a gusset if you wanted to have more capacity in the pocket. But really, she's just going to pop bits and pieces in there, I assume, rather than... I'll have to tell her there's a pocket here. She won't even realise. She does quite often watch me, so I'll probably get told off. There we go. Trimming that. Now I've lost the gold. There we go. I won't get the whole calendar because I've got an inky surface here, but you can see with the gold, just as a little matten layer, picking up on our gold, river of gold in the landscape. And with our slightly bright, the dogs look they are crossed. Yeah, that's true, Belinda. I could put something in the pocket just so she knows it's there. But when I've toned my owl down, he'll fit into that landscape a little bit more congruently. And that is now the calendar version of the idea in terms of what I made on TV as a card. So you can see same papers, same idea of pocket, like that. And we'll finish off the bird and I'll stick it in and share a picture alongside the picture frame that we started with at the beginning of the live, which is, I think, going to be nice. So thank you everybody for spending time with me. Thank you. Please do like and share if you haven't done already. I just appreciate you kind of letting other people know about our Wednesday lives. Check out or keep posted because we've got lots of exciting things happening over the coming week that I am particularly giddy about, and everyone's very worried about the state of my dog, so I better go walk him now. And yeah, we'll see you again very, very soon. See you later, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.